yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. I'm excited, as always, to bring you another amazing guest. Natalie Lavelock is a registered nurse who studied nursing education turned coach and consultant. We're going to find out a little bit more about that and how she made that transition. I'm excited to connect with Natalie because she's a wellspring of information and knowledge, and I know our conversation is going to be awesome. Welcome to the show, Natalie.
Thank you, Wendy Y. It is such a pleasure to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So how do you go from being a registered nurse and a nursing educator to becoming a coach and consultant? How'd you make that transition?
I know, that's a great question. I know for a lot of people, it seems very fragmented, right? It's like you were a nurse and now you're an online business consultant. Like, how do those mesh together? And actually, when we connect the dots, it makes perfect sense. So as you mentioned,
right?
I'm sorry?
Transferable skills, right?
Yes, yes. But it all started back in my training in graduate school. Like you mentioned, as a clinical nurse educator, I was trained in how to teach and train healthcare providers. And so even though the first 5 years of my career were spent at the bedside nursing, I kept trying to train and fix everything and everyone around me. And finally, they're just like, Natalie, we need to put you in a different position where you can do this at the level at which you've been trained. And so for over 15 years, it was my job in the corporate healthcare setting to create and implement training programs for our doctors and nurses and therapists and anesthesiologists at the bedside so that they were serving at their highest level. And when seconds count, they knew how to spring into action to take the best care of our patients possible. So when I decided to open my own coaching and consulting business, it was actually a pretty simple transition. I'm used to teaching and training. Now I just take that skill set and I help coaches and speakers create teaching and training programs.
Very cool, very cool. It's almost like instructional design meets training and coaching, right?
Mm-hmm. That's actually a term that is kind of new to my vocabulary. I'm like, what is all this instructional design stuff? And as over the past couple of years, I've kind of been digging into it. I'm like, oh, this was all the stuff I was trained how to do 20 years ago. Yeah. They've just given it a new name.
Yeah, how to put ideas into programs that actually train and support people. That's kind of my definition of instructional design. And if you're a coach, then you've got to become really good at instructional design. So I can imagine how those transferable skills really, really made a difference for you today. So who's a typical client for you, Natalie?
My clients are typically coaches and speakers. And if we were to narrow that down a little bit further, typically they have a healthcare background and there's someone who's wanting to use coaching and speaking to add a new extension to their business, to serve in a new way. And so that's really, really that's the business that we're in as coaches and speakers, is the business of transformation. So we get caught up a lot of times in the marketing piece, because if our marketing isn't solid, then it becomes more difficult to attract clients. But what we really have to make sure is that on the backside, our deliverables are solid, that we are changing people's lives, that we are giving them the results that we've promised in our marketing. And so that's why having well thought out, well laid out programs on the back end is so important.
Yeah, you're speaking my language. You're preaching to the choir, because that's what I always say too, that coaching really isn't about the stuff. It's really about the transformation, the result you're able to help your clients create. So I love that. I love that. When you think of, one of the biggest challenges that your most ideal clients have, would you say it is kind of taking that idea that they have in their head and creating something that delivers the transformation for their clients? Would that be the greatest challenge, or is there more?
So I would say the biggest challenge for my clients is that they are brilliant. They have lots of ideas. They've got lots of wisdom and expertise in their niche. And their biggest challenge is, how do I teach this in a way that someone who's not at the same level as me can understand and come closer to where I am? So some of my clients, they talk about, I have a 1,000-piece puzzle right in front of me. Okay. So I have a 1,000-piece puzzle, but all the pieces are brown and they're just kind of scattered all over the table. And they say, Natalie, what you do for me is you help me bring all those pieces together so that now I have this puzzle that is completely put together, and that someone can see the whole piece and that they can navigate their way around this puzzle, almost like a puzzle map, but they can see where to go and how the pieces fit together. So that's really the biggest challenge for my clients, is not, what's my content or how do I create the content? I do have some clients who need help with content, but most of my clients are those who have a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of content. And they're like, how do I put this together in a way people can actually learn and grow from it?
Yeah, and I can tell just by the way you talk about it that you're actually talking about application and implementation, so that they're creating something that their clients can apply. They're creating something that their clients can implement, and you're helping them to connect the dots around that. I think that's amazing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Anything else about your background that would help us to know more about who you are and what you do?
Oh, well, if you want some of the fun little juicy details,
Please.
my husband is a serial entrepreneur. He runs a farm. He's a farmer. He also has a commercial metal roofing business. So he does roof coatings and things like that. And he also has a beef production business. So he is a very, very busy man. And we have 3 little boys together. So
nice.
That adds a whole other layer of busy to our lives. But I'm so grateful to have been able to start my business and to be able to work from home, because they're growing up so much faster than I even want to admit.
Yeah.
And really the realization that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said almost overnight. Yeah. They grow fast. Yeah. Mine's 31 and I feel like I blinked and he was here, so I know exactly what you mean. It gives you such freedom to have your own business, to be able to see their growth at different stages, at more stages than you have when you work outside of the home and you're dropping them off at school, and you miss those after school spurts. You miss the stuff, the phases that they go through, and the way they look differently over time as well. Yes. So I get it.
Yes, and I wanted to be that mom, who was there for the Valentine's Day parties, who was there for the homecoming and all of that kind of stuff. And early on in my children's lives, I was seeing that those opportunities, like I was having to call grandma. And my kids are blessed to have 2 really incredible grandmas who love being a part of their life, but doggone it, I'm their mama. Right?
Yeah, I don't want to miss stuff. Yeah.
I don't want to miss out on some of the most precious, special moments of their life.
Yeah, that's great. I love what entrepreneurship affords us in the way of time freedom. I really, really do. And, you get to organize your life and your business so that they fit together really well. So I get it. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll step into our Profitable Wisdom signature segment. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Bridget Baggett, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Gina Calvano, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hey, I am Lisa Santiago McNeil, and you are tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversations show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Make sure that you like, comment, review, and subscribe so that you're notified when the next episode goes live. See you later.
So welcome back. We're talking with Natalie Lavelock. She is a registered nurse and nursing educator turned online business strategist, coach, and consultant. So we're going to jump into our signature segment. The first question I always ask everyone is, who's had the greatest influence on your life in your business, in your life and in your business?
So I'm gonna give you two answers.
Okay.
The first one is like ultimate big picture, greatest influence is Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That him and his teaching and the principles and the Bible, they guide everything that I do, and they're so integral of who I am. So that's first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Second to that, I would have to say it was the chief nursing officer and the CEO of the organization that I worked in for, like I said, over 15 years before they retired. They taught me pretty much everything I knew about starting a business, running a business, how to do customer service, how to take care of your employees. And they really molded and shaped who I was as a business owner. They gave me opportunities to grow within the organization. And let me tell you, I made some mistakes in the programs that I was put in charge of at the hospital. And every single time, they just came back and gave me the opportunity to learn and grow again. They didn't shame me. They didn't condemn me. I mean, and sometimes there were some big mistakes, some very costly mistakes. And they're like, okay, let's just navigate this.
Mistakes. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's the only way for you to really learn is to make the big mistake, have someone to help you navigate the mistake, and then you learn from it and you grow from the experience. So I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
As opposed to somebody who does come in and shame you and berate you or whatever. Now that's shaping a person who's afraid to take chances, afraid to take risk, afraid to go for it in life because they know that when they fail, they just, get beat up on. So
It's like parenting. I see management as like parenting. You've got to, be firm and disciplined, but you've also got to model behavior. You've got to do a lot of talking and a lot of listening. It really is, to me, very much akin to parenting. So I get it. Have you read the book, Jesus CEO, I think Rick Warren?
No. How did I miss that one?
Yeah, you got to check it out. It's a few years old, several years old, but there's a lot of direct principles, biblical principles that he ties to what kinds of things you encounter when you're a CEO of your life or your business. So that's
I will check that out.
Yeah, I would definitely put on my reading list. So what's been the biggest business advice, the best business advice you've ever received?
Do it messy.
Done is better than perfect.
Better than holding back and not trying until you think you have it perfect, because even when you think you have it perfect, it's not going to go perfectly. So just get out there, start talking to people, start trying things, start testing. And the more action you take, the faster your business will grow, and you will fail forward, and you will come out stronger, and you will grow faster. So just do it messy. And you're talking to a perfectionist. I like for things to be done right.
Wow.
I like
so
for
that
things
was a
to be
big
done
jump for
efficient.
you then. Yeah, that was a big move for you to start to think of doing it messy.
Yep, absolutely. But I can tell you, when you finally let go, or at least for me, when I finally let go and it's like, okay, I'm just going to do it, the world started to change.
Yeah. Was it after you got in your business, or was it when you were still in your corporate career? that you sort of understood that it was about doing it messy and being okay with it being messy? Like, where did the big shift for you come to go to that?
It actually was probably about 3 years into running my business.
Yeah.
It took me a while to let go.
Yeah. The thing that's why I asked the question, because usually when you're in that corporate management setting, you have, it's almost like when a child goes bowling, they put the bumper guards, the ball guards up in the lane. When you're in corporate America, you have those guards, so to speak. But when you're in your own business, you don't have those guards. So you have to really pay attention to not being messy, but being messy anyway. And sometimes that ball curves and you hit a strike. You know what I mean? So that's why I asked the question, because I really, really thought it was probably in your business. So,
well, and
go ahead.
Oh, do you mind? Okay.
Go ahead.
And keeping in mind the other mindset that was playing in my mind, my job was to literally make sure people didn't die. So everything had to be just so to make sure people didn't literally lose their lives. Wow. And so it took a little while for me to realize that there's a level of success, and I want my clients to achieve results. But if it's a little bit slower, or if it's not done perfectly, someone's not going to die. We have time to make adjustments. We have time to tweak and change. So that was a big shift, and kind of what you might call an unlearning or an unschooling of those thought patterns and those habits that were ingrained into what I did and who I was.
Yeah, those are tough lessons to learn, but when you learn them, you really, really move faster, sooner, and you're more focused on achieving the goal without worrying as much about the how. And that's what's really, really good about that. So what's the largest single sale you've ever had in your business? What was the amount, the circumstances? And I always like to ask, what did you do to celebrate?
So I'll say the largest one was actually this past year. I did my first live launch in both June and July. And it was for my year-long coaching program. And so for me, that was a $50,000 event. So that was huge to me, because I've been building my business, and while my business has been very successful, it's come like $5,000 or $7,000 or $500 at a time. And so to do this 5-day challenge, this live launch, and then have a $50,000 sale at the end of that, that was just absolutely huge to me. Now, I will say, as a perfectionist, something that I need to continue working on is the celebration piece, right? So at the end of it, go ahead.
We all do. Yeah. Go ahead.
We all do. You know, it's kind of like, thank you, God. Thank you for this. Thank you for the women who are coming, whose lives are going to be changed over the course of the next year. And then there's a piece of me that shifts to, oh my goodness, now I have to deliver this. Now I have to deliver on the promise that I made. And it's such a blessing that I've been entrusted with their businesses, with their lives, and what it is, with their dreams. Mm-hmm. Right. And so that's not something that I take lightly. And there's a great deal of humility that comes with being entrusted with the dreams of the people that you're serving.
Yeah, there are two things that you said that I want to highlight. Gratitude is the first one, that before you even looked at the dollar amount, you were like, I'm grateful. Right. Mm-hmm. And then the second was the humility, because coaching is a huge responsibility. And if you don't recognize that part of it, you miss the humility part of it, and how you're entrusted, like you said, to help people with their lives and their businesses. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we all have times when we feel like giving up. You know, sometimes it's every day, every week, sometimes it's just every month or every quarter, but it doesn't matter how long you're in business, we all have those feelings of giving up. What has helped you, and I think I already know your answer, but what has helped you move through those times when you felt like throwing in the towel and giving up?
One is giving myself permission to give up. I quit my business, every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then I get up the next morning and I go right back after it. So it's okay to give up. It's okay to quit for the day. You just don't stay in the quit.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one thing. But I would say underlying all of it, the reason that I keep going is because I'm not doing this for myself. This is something that I've been called to. This is something that I've been called to by a greater purpose, a greater power. And so if I say that my life is a reflection of that, then I don't have permission to quit until he gives me permission to quit. And if I quit, not only am I giving up on myself, I'm giving up on my clients, and I'm giving up on my creator.
Yeah. Yeah, it's recognizing that there's a bigger purpose for what you do and staying committed to the call. So I totally love that. And what's your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
So two things again. Number one, I would say my greatest personal accomplishment is my family. They are the light of my life. They are the joy in my day. I can't wait to be able to pick up my kiddos from school and be like, hey, baby, how was your day? What went on? And just sometimes they're boys, right? 3 boys. So sometimes they don't say anything at all. And then sometimes they'll tell me the funniest stories of things that happen. But that's the moment that I look forward to every day, is when I get to pick them up and they get to share their day. Now, if we talk about career-wise, in the past, one of my greatest accomplishments has been leading the organization that I worked for through a 4-year accreditation process that took us on a journey to have a hospital that was designated globally as a hospital of excellence. And so we had to take the entire organization from the very top to the very bottom, get them all on the same page, operating on the same mindset, the same commitment level, and the same policies and procedures in order to achieve that designation. We did it in about 3.5 years, because we laid the foundation for some of that prior to starting that process. But that was probably one of my greatest achievements back when I was still working full-time at the hospital.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, I'd love to hear your parting thought, Natalie.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Joanna Pawlowski, and you are tuned into Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, and subscribe now so you get notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Charvette Mitchell, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episodes go live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Roberta Shaler, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Make sure that you like, comment, and review. Subscribe now so that you will know when the next episode goes live, and you'll be glad you did.
So welcome back. We've been having a delightful conversation with Natalie Lavelock. And, there's been a lot we've talked about, Natalie. If there's one thing you really want to stand out from our conversation, what is that one thing?
If there's one thing that I could leave your audience, that I could share that might help them move forward, and that's this. And I really want you to think about this. I want you to feel this in the core of who you are as these words come out of my mouth. The best thing I can leave you with is the knowledge and the understanding that your life matters. that your business, the programs, the products, the services that you offer your clients, they're a lifeline to someone in need. And so I believe that right now in this moment, this is your time to step up, to step out in faith. I believe that you are being called to step forward and be that lifeline to those who need you the most.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Natalie. And I know you have a gift you want to share. You want to describe it, and then we'll put the link in the show notes.
Absolutely. So any program, any marketing begins with a lead magnet. It begins with a way to generate leads, get people interested in what it is you have to offer. And so what I'd like to offer your audience today is something I call $1 Million Lead Magnets Made Simple. This is a PDF download that's going to walk them through how they can create their own $1 Million lead magnet. And then as a bonus to that, when you register for $1 Million Lead Magnet Made Simple, you're going to be invited to a half-day hands-on training with me where I'm going to actually walk you through how to create your $1 Million lead magnet and turn it into a multiple 5, 6, or even 7-figure business. This is absolutely free. All you have to do is grab the download and pick out the time and the date of the class that works best for your schedule.
Very cool. Very cool. Natalie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Wendy. It has been my honor and my pleasure, and I'm so grateful that you invited me to take part in your show.
Absolutely. So we'll be back for another episode in the future. Be sure to stay tuned and subscribe now. You can also join the after party at profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.